Hi there guys, my name's Mark and welcome back to another weekly acoustic guitar lesson. Today we're going to look at some advanced picking patterns and I've got 3 of them for you. So first thing I'm going to do is just play the first one and then we'll break it down, look at what I'm doing. Okay, so here it is. Okay, brilliant. So let's look at how I'm playing that. So we're going to hold down a D minor chord to start with, and we're going to use fingers 1, 2 and 4. Okay, so using the 4th finger on the B string instead of the 3rd finger like we normally do with D minor. That leaves the 3rd finger free for some bass notes. Okay, with the picking hand, thumb's going to pick the D string, fingers are going to pick the top 3 strings, the G, B and E string. That's our first part, so we're going to pick bass, chord, then mute. Okay, so to mute, we're just going to place the fingers and thumb back on the strings. Okay, once you've done that, we're then going to pick the chord again with the top 3 strings there with the fingers, and then we're going to strum. Okay, so just to recap what we got so far: bass, chord, mute, chord, strum. Okay, and the rhythm we get is. Okay, there's kind of when I place my fingers back on the strings to mute it. If you do it hard enough, you do get a thumb slap sound, which is quite cool if you wanted that percussive sound in there. On the tab, I've just put a rest because I think if you still getting the hang of it, I think just get used to putting your fingers on the strings to mute it. But if you're fine with that, you can hit the strings a bit harder with your thumb when you do the rest, and you get that, which is quite a cool little sound there, little percussive sound to put in there. Okay. Great, so once you've done the strum, we're going to mute the strings after that as well. We're going for kind of a staccato, upbeat kind of sound for this one. So we've got that so far. And then we're going to, just to the end of the bar, we're going to put in one more bass and one more chord. Okay, so one more pick on the bass string, one more pick on the top 3 strings at the end. So the whole bar so far goes... Okay, cool. Bar 1. Okay, let's move on to bar 2. For bar 2, we take off the 2nd finger off the D minor, leave fingers 4 and 1 down on those 2 strings, and we're going to go. Okay, so we've got kind of a little bass line going on here. So we're going to go to the 2nd fret A string. We're going to pick thumb on the A, G, B, and then hold down a C note to the 3rd fret. Pick A, G, E. Okay, so we've got, that's the A, G and E string, by the way. I know they're not the actual note names, but the string names are going to be, let's do the string numbers 5, 3, 1. Okay, so from the start of bar 2, we've got strings 5, 3, 2. Hold down the 3rd fret A string, we've got strings 5, 3, 1. So we've got, and then we hold down the 2nd fret D string and pick strings 4 and 3. Okay, so we get. Brilliant. So if you practice those separately, let's just do bar 1 again. Okay, then bar 2. And then we put them together. All right, so we get this. Cool, okay. Next, we're going to play the 2nd half now, so we've got a slight variation on the bass line. So we do bar 1, and then we done bar 2, and then bar 3 is the same as bar 1. Okay, so same rhythm with the chord there. We're going to change the bass line and go to a higher note there on the F. So we're in bar 4 now, and we're going to hold down, going from the D minor, we take the 2nd finger off, place the 3rd finger on the 4th string, the D string there, 3rd fret. Okay, and we go. Okay, so it's the same picking pattern as bar 2, but in bar 4 we just change the bass notes around. Okay, so we'll hold down the 3rd fret D string. We've still got these 2 fingers here, fingers 1 and 4. We're going to pick strings 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to change. We're going to change the 2nd fret then on the D string with the 2nd finger. And we're going to pick strings 4, 3, 1, and then we're going to go down to the 3rd fret A string and pick strings 5 and 3. Okay, so we get, so that's bar 4. Okay, brilliant. So that's all the bars done sort of separately now. Let's put the whole thing together. I'm going to play it really slowly. So we've got, okay, so that's nice and slow, and that works really well more upbeat as well, like this. Brilliant. Okay, so that's our first little piece for the advanced finger picking patterns. Okay, let's move on to pattern number 2. This one involves the tremolo technique. Let me just demonstrate that for you, and then we'll break this one down. So this one goes. So yeah, it's a lovely effect, the tremolo technique. I really like that one. Those notes just sort of flutter over the top, and you can sort of muck around with some different bass notes, and playing the melody with the thumb while those notes just kind of hang over the top there. So brilliant. Let's look at the first shape. So we're going to hold down the 2nd fret high E string with the 2nd finger, 3rd fret on the B string with the 3rd finger. Okay, so we've got those 2 notes. The 1st finger is going to hold down the D string, 2nd fret. Okay, right, so index and middle are going to stick to the top 2 strings. Index on the B string, middle finger on the high E string. They're going to stay there. They're not going to move for the whole exercise. The thumb is going to do all the moving around. So for every note we pick with the thumb, it's then followed by the middle finger on the high E string, and then the index finger on the B string. So every time you pick with the thumb, pick those 2 notes. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and that's really going to speed the process up. So so the thumb is going to pick E, D, G, D. Okay, and after every one of those, we add those higher 2 notes over the top. So we get this. Okay, cool. So if we just learn the sequence with the thumb, we know what the fingers are going to do. So it should be quite straightforward, I think. So that's kind of our kind of baseline, if you like. So we're just going to go. So we're going to pick E string, D string, G, D, open D, 2nd fret A, 2nd fret, open D, and then 2nd fret D. So maybe just kind of play that a few times, and then we're going to add. After every bass note, we add those 2 notes. So we could try that slowly at this sort of tempo. If you're new to tremolo picking, do it as slow as you need to. And don't worry about the speed until you can do it really relaxed and just really comfortably. The more relaxed you are with the picking hand, the quicker you'll be able to go in theory. So if you're really tense, it's really going to slow everything down for you, and that's a sign that you need to slow down. If you're doing it tense, slow the tempo down, and quite often people find their hands just loosens up, and then they can just practice at a nice comfortable tempo, which will then enable you to sort of speed it up, because you'll be in the right kind of relaxed state you need to be in for this. So we've got our first bar. Okay, the second bar is the same, but instead of ending on the open D, we end on the open A string. Apart from that, it's the same. Okay, so both bars together go. Okay, and that gives us a chance to get our fingers around to C add 9. So this is bar number 3 now, and we're going to pick the A string. Thumb's on the A string, and the thumb goes A string. Let's do the string numbers. So it goes string number 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4. And again, after every bass note, we add those 2 notes on the top. So we get this. And then move that up 2 frets. Exactly the same. And then we're back to our initial first couple of bars. You can just loop that around. Okay, so let's put the whole thing together. So all together, a nice slow tempo. We should have this. that wasn't very slow tempo, was it? That was a little bit too quick. I'm going to slow that down a bit more actually. It works well at a slow tempo as well. Anyway, that tremolo technique is lovely just over the top there at a nice low tempo. I think it's more often used at a much more upbeat tempo, to be honest, but it sounds great anyway. Okay, now to go through pattern number 3. So again, let me just show you what we're going to do and then we'll break it down. So here we go. There we go, so that's the whole thing. So let's have a look at what we're doing. We're going to hold down a B minor 11 to start with. Okay, I'm going to recommend also that we use the second finger on the 5th string, third finger here on the G string, fourth finger here on the B string. Okay, and fingers are going to cover the top 3 strings. So you got your index on string 3, middle finger on string 2, A finger on string 1. Thumb is going to cover the A and D string and the low E when we change chord to G. Okay, so we're kind of around this area. So we're going to do a pinch on strings 5 and 2, followed by the index on G, then a pinch on strings 4 and 1, followed by the G, the 3rd string. Okay, so we've got the first half of the bar there done. Okay, back to another pinch. This second half of the bar is similar, except after that pinch there on the strings 5 and 2, we play G, D with no pinch on the D string there. So we've got, so those two are our semiquavers. They're going to be quick notes. Those the G and the D string there. So we've got, okay, then it's open. Then it's the 1st string followed by the 3rd string at the end of the bar there. So. Okay, that's the 1st bar. 2nd bar, we're actually going to repeat that. So the 1st and 2nd bar are exactly the same. Then we go to C, add 9. Okay, so to do this, leave the 4th finger there. Go for a nice smooth change. 3rd finger on the A string, 2nd finger on the D string. Same picking pattern, exactly the same. Then we go to G, and here the thumb's going to move to the low E string because our root note changes with the G. Apart from that, everything's the same. So once you've got that picking sequence down, that is all gonna, you can just copy and paste that to your next shape. Okay, so we're halfway through because I've got a little variation on this for the second half of the pattern. First of all, let me just put that whole thing together and then we'll look at the next part. Okay, so we've got this so far. Okay, brilliant. Next, we're going to change shape to B minor 7. So we've got 2nd fret on the 5th, 3rd, and 1st string. Okay, so we're holding down a full B minor 7 there. And the picking sequence is the same. For that, we're just changing the kind of the melody there a little bit. It's a bit of variation. Do the same picking sequence, then move to a C major 7. Okay, we're going to keep the melody on the high E and it's going to move up to the 3rd fret. So from B minor 7, the little finger goes up a fret and we move to this shape we were playing earlier, 3rd fret, the 5th string, 2nd fret on the D string. Same picking sequence. Okay, so just to recap those last 2 bars, B minor 7, C major 7 with an open B, and then we go to G major this time, and I'm just holding down the 3rd fret on the 2 E strings, high E and low E. I'm going to change the sequence a bit here because we're going to add a little melody to end off the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to let me just play what we're going to do on this chord. So it's going to go. Okay, so we're going to, the tune is going to go high E string, frets 3, 2, open. Okay, and we're going to start off with the same. It's the same pattern, except we pick. So we've got a pinch on the 6 and 2 string, G string, and then we do a pinch on the D and high E string like we were before, and then G string. Okay, and then do a pinch on the 2 E strings with the 2nd fret held down this time. Open G, followed then by a pinch on the D and high E string with an open E. So we go. Okay, cool. So that's the last bar. Brilliant. So let's put the whole thing together for pattern 3, and we should have this. Okay, brilliant. There we go, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, found that useful. Please send me any questions or any lesson requests if you like. And if you think this video is going to be useful for any of your buddies, then please share it. Give me a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm doing weekly guitar lessons at the moment. So, you know, come back next week and hopefully there'll be something new for you. And have a great week, guys. See you again soon. Bye-bye.